Hi you guys, I'm Ayushi. I'm a second year MBBS student in Bangalore, Karnataka, and I scored distinction first year. In this particular video, I'm not going to tell you how to score distinction because I already did that in the previous video. In this particular video, I'm just going to tell you how to pass. So our teacher used to always tell us, do not focus on how to pass, just focus on how not to fail, because that changes the narrative and it takes stress off of you, and you will only do things that are important and not juggle your head into everything, every information in the book. There are two types of people right now. One who've done everything and one who've not done everything. And if you've not done everything, it's okay, because I was in the same position 1 month before my exams. I still had roughly 25-30% of the syllabus left to go. And here is where I doubled down. And it's okay even if you have more than 30-40% left to do. Number two, work on your nerves. Some of you may be very anxious. Some of you may not be anxious at all and may be in denial, in fact, that the exams are just a few weeks away. So both the situations are not ideal. What is ideal is that you take the stress, just the minimum threshold amount of stress, because it helps us, it motivates us to do better, because in this profession, we can never be stressless and it's a part of our journey. We can directly jump into the academic part. So now that you're focused on how not to fail, you know what you have to do. You know that there are a hit list of questions that come regardless of the state you're in, regardless of the college you're in, regardless of the board you're in. For example, anatomy, brachial plexus, right atrium, blood supply of heart, blood supply of brain, hip joint, knee joint, so on and so forth. You know the drill. So if you've not done even these, leave everything else in the world. Leave everything else in the world and get to this. So do all those questions at least 2-3 times. Go through it, make sure it's settled in your brain, and once that it's settled, then we go on to the next step. Now that that's out of the way, the second step that you need to do is to consolidate the information. Work on it. Work on your strengths. If you're done with 80% of the subjects and you only have 20% left, instead of focusing on that 20%, trying to study that 20% and put it in your memory, just focus on that 80%. Really work it well, memorize it well, learn it well, understand it well, and that is way better. It's the end stage. It's not the beginning of the year that you can study everything. You don't have that liberty. So just focus on what you've already done. You can pick up a few things that are important that you've not done already, but not a lot of energy over that. Okay. And for people who are going to comment that I have not really done anything at all, what do I do? I suggest that at least 1 week before the exam, stop, do not pick on any new information. So if you're not confident that I've not done a lot of important things, learn the information, understand it, consolidate it in your memory, learn it, practice, write, do everything. But only until 1 week before the exams. 1 week before the exams, please stop learning anything. Alright. So now that you've learned all the important things, you've consolidated all the information, you've revised it. Now, the fourth and the most important point of this entire video, paper presentation. I'm going to give you example of a 10 marker and you can apply it to 5 and 3 markers. 10 marker of kidney. Okay? Kidney. This is your first page. Draw a diagram. At least half of the page, draw a diagram. Draw 2-3 diagrams at least. Don't shy away by drawing diagrams, because if you know it, just put it. It's going to work out in the end. Now that you've drawn a diagram, write the arrow marks. Anterior, posterior, medial, lateral. You know the ones that are there in the textbook. Then write the relations. Relation of kidneys, anteriorly, posteriorly, medially, laterally. So then go on to write a few points of the theory. Retroperitoneal, this, that, you know what to write. You write that in points. Do not make a mistake of writing it in paragraphs. Alright? Write histology. It's okay if you're not very confident. Draw the diagram. Even if it's 50% similar to the actual diagram, draw it. Even if you're not confident with it, just draw it. Draw the glomerulus, the nephron, this and that, histologically, any pencil. Then write a few points of embryology, okay? 2-3 points of embryology. This part is developed from this. 2-3 points have written. Then write clinical anatomy and see how much marks you get. Partial kidney, developmental anomaly, polycystic kidney disease. Write those points in clinical anatomy. And from a person who's written it in a paragraph with 1 or 2 diagrams, not properly written with subheadings, is gonna get 6 and you'll get 8.5. That's how you win a paper presentation. That was anatomy. Physiology paper presentation is fairly simple. All you have to do is make flowcharts. Flowcharts you know how to do. Biochem, write the reactions. Whatever is related to the question. Cholesterol synthesis. Instead of writing sunlight, kidney, liver, draw flowchart. Write the enzymes. Write the site, the tissue site, cell site, if it's happening in the cytoplasm, mitochondria. Mention all that beautifully, and you're good to go. So that was paper presentation. And bonus points if you write inhibitors. This step is inhibited by fluorine. This step is inhibited by da 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 da. And plus points if you write clinical cases. If you're given to write uric acid synthesis and you write about gout, it's going to fetch you more marks. Got it? Wherever possible, try to write values if you remember them. For example, if liver function test is asked and you write values, it's going to fetch you more marks. ALP ka value, AST ka value. Okay, got it? Cool. Now I'm going to address something very important. You might be thinking right now that it's so silly, like nobody's going to do that. But it's happened with a lot of people that I know while I was giving the exams. In the answer booklet that they're going to give you, do not make any mistakes in bubbling your roll number and your name and all that basic thing. You don't have a second choice if you make a mistake there. So be very patient and careful and fill it out peacefully. And the second point that I want to tell you is they have allotted specific pages for specific questions. So question 1, which is a 10 marker, they would have given you 5-6 pages. See clearly which question you're writing under which question, because a lot of my friends have done this mistake. Question 1, they wrote so much that they went to question 2. And question 3, they wrote in question 4. So don't make that mistake. Be very cautious, be very peaceful, be confident, be good to go. Few of you were confused in the comment section regarding the passing criteria, and I think I'll quickly address that as well. So I come under Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, and in our particular university, the passing criteria is, I think it's the same for almost every university, so you can kind of keep this as a reference and work yourself through it. Is that you need, to pass, you need 100 marks, okay? Theory plus practical. So if theory is 100 and practical is 100, you need 100 marks to pass together out of 200. If you get 14 theory, you need at least 16 practical to pass so that your aggregate comes up to 100. You need a minimum of 40 in one paper, and if you get 40 in that paper, the other paper, which is of the same subject, need to get at least 60 to compensate for that. So 40-60 works, 50-50 works, 60-40 works, and other combinations as well, 41-59. But you can't do 30 and 70 because 30 is, you'll fail if you get 30 because a minimum of 40 is required in each subject. And for 2 papers, like anatomy has 2 papers, that's of 200 marks. You need a minimum of 40-40 in each paper. Hi you guys, so I'm currently editing this video, and I just found out that you don't really need 40-40 in each paper. For example, if you get 13 anatomy paper 1 and 17 anatomy paper 2 and your average is 50, so you'll pass. So you don't really need 40-40 because I have a proof. Let me just show it to you. Okay, so being very cautious with his details because I don't want to blurt it out. Okay, so as you can see, he's gotten 35 in physiology paper 1, but he got 52 in physiology paper 2, so his average came up to more than 40 and he passed. So yeah, that works. A minimum of 40 in each paper and another 60 to compensate for that. See you. Bye. Subscribe. Subscribe, brother. Subscribe. It's not going to take anything from you. Just subscribe. And go watch the other video, which is how to score distinction first MBBS, because it has a lot of general points that you can apply again, which I've not discussed here because I've already discussed it. So go watch that. I'll see you next time. Until then, bye bye.